Greetings to all viewers. This is Professor Ankit Singh. We'll now go ahead with the next type of survey, that is spot speed studies and analysis. Okay. So here we try to find out what is spot speed. Okay, spot speed of a vehicle. Let us have a look at the definition. A spot speed is the study of the speed of traffic at one point or spot on a traffic way. This helps in estimating the speed distribution of the entire traffic stream about the particular location under the conditions prevailing at the time of study. Okay, so spot speed is nothing but the instantaneous speed of the vehicle at that point of time or at that spot. Okay, and where is it useful? It is useful to estimate the speed distribution of the entire traffic system. Okay, about that particular location under the prevailing conditions. Okay, the conditions might differ, so under that current prevailing situation and at that time of study. Okay, now what are the objectives of spot speed study? Why do we need spot speed studies? For establishing the trends in the operating speeds of different vehicle types. Okay, so in order to represent speeds of different vehicles, okay, and to establish trends between each of the type of speed distribution for a vehicle, we need spot speeds. To assess the speeds at problematic location, to determine the level of speed like high or overspeed. Okay, so in order to find out whether that vehicle is moving at a higher speed or a lower speed, okay, with respect to the current design speed of the roads. For traffic operation such as regulation and control, okay, so for regulating and controlling the vehicles on the roads, we need to understand or know the spot speed of that vehicle. Okay, for establishing speed limits, to determine safe speed at curves and intersections, and establishing lengths of non-passing zone. Okay, so what is a non-passing zone? It is a zone at which we do not allow any overtaking operation. For traffic operation, okay, this is the same. For use of accident analysis, to determine the relationship of accidents, which will help in developing corrective measures. Okay, so for accident analysis, we try to understand or try to find out what is the what was the current speed of that vehicle. Okay, so that we can regulate or lessen the amount of accidents at that area by providing speed regulations at that area. Okay, so these speed regulations would be corrective measures. Next, used in analyzing the effect of improvements, change in controls and conditions. Okay, so if we have done any improvement, or we have done any kind of improvement for that road stretch, and if we need to analyze whether that improvement is working or not, we can perform spot speed studies and then analyze the data to find out if our improvements are efficient or not. For use in geometric features of roads such as horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, safe stopping side distance, and super elevation, etc. Because as we have studied earlier that the speed value is required for design of each of these elements, hence we need to carry out spot speed studies to evaluate the capacity in relation to the desired speed, and research studies. Okay, so these are a few objectives of spot speed studies. Next, there are a few definitions. First one is speed. Speed is nothing but the rate of movement of a vehicle, generally expressed in kilometer per hour or kmph. Okay, it can also be expressed in meter per second. Next is average spot speed. The arithmetic mean of speeds of traffic, of all traffic, or a component thereof at a specified point. Okay. Overall travel time. The time of travel including stops and delays. Okay. So if a person is to travel from point A to point B, then the overall time which was taken for his journey is nothing but the overall travel time. Now this time would include the stops and delays. Next is running time. The time the vehicle is in motion. Okay. And in this time we do not include stops and delays. Okay. This is only the time when the vehicle is in motion. Overall travel speed. Speed over a specified section of the highway, and it is the distance traveled by the overall time. Okay, if you use this overall time and find out the speed of the vehicle, then what you will get is overall travel speed. Here the delays are also considered. And running speed, if you find out the speed using the running time, that is neglecting the delays and stops, then the speed that you get is nothing but the running speed. So it is the distance traveled by the running travel time. Okay. Next, design speed. A speed determined for the design as related to the physical features of a highway that might influence the vehicle operation. Okay, so design speed is the speed for which that particular road is being designed. Particular road or any road element or any geometrical based element is being designed. It is being designed based on this speed. 85th percentile speed. The speed below 85% of all traffic units travel and above which only 15% travel. Okay. So if you consider this speed as, for example, 90 kmph, then the total traffic, if it is 100%, then 85% of the traffic will be traveling at a speed less than 90 kmph, and only 15% would be traveling at a higher speed than 90 kmph. Okay. Modal speed. The speed value occurring most frequently in a frequency distribution of speeds obtained in a speed study. The modal speed could be the value with highest frequency of observations. Okay, so this is nothing but the speed at which the maximum number of vehicles are traveling. Okay, so if we plot a frequency distribution table, that I'll be showing you that in the further classes. So if we plot a frequency distribution table, then you would have a peak. Okay, in that graph there would be a peak and it would show the modal speed. Okay, it is nothing but the speed at which the maximum number of vehicles are traveling. Okay, next is pace. A given increment of speed that includes the greatest number of observations. It is usually taken in 10 mph or 16 kmph for peak speed distribution. Okay, so it is a increment in speed which includes the greatest number of observations. So that particular slot which has the greatest frequency of speed range. Okay, this also we'll have a look at when we go through the frequency distribution graphs. Operating speed, it is the highest overall speed exclusive of stops at which driver can travel on a given highway under prevailing conditions without any time exceeding the design speed. Okay, so this operating speed is the speed at which the driver will travel when he travels from any point, for example point A to point B, under the prevailing traffic conditions, and he never exceeds the design speed. Okay, next is space mean speed and time mean speed. Okay, these are both classifications of spot speeds. They are both spot speeds only, but in space mean speed what we do is we keep a constant length of road. Okay, It is the average speed of vehicles in a certain road length at a certain road length at any time, whereas in time mean speed, it is the average speed of vehicles at a road length at that constant time. Okay, here the time is constant and here the time could vary. Okay, so the formulas are different. Here spaceman speed, that is Vs, is given as 3.6 into dn divided by summation of Ti. Okay, now what is d? D is nothing but the length of roads, n is the number of vehicles in the observation, and T is observed travel time for ith vehicle to the travel distance T. Okay, so this will depend on the number of observations. If there are 10 vehicles, that is if n is equal to 10, then T would also have 10 values, T1, T2, T3, so on up to T10. Okay, and Vs is nothing but the space mean speed, that is given in kmph. This can also be given using a formula. Vs is also equal to n divided by summation of Vi. Okay, n is nothing but number of vehicles and Vi is the spot speeds of each vehicle, of the different vehicles. Okay, for example, if there are 10 vehicles, then spot speeds of 10 vehicles, so summation of those we'll get Vs. Next is time mean speed. Time mean speed is the reciprocal of space mean speed. Okay, so Vt is equal to summation of Vi divided by n, where Vt is time mean speed in kmph, Vi is observed instantaneous speed of ith vehicle, and n is the number of vehicles observed. Now, what are the factors which affect spot speeds? Driver, vehicle, roadway, traffic, and environment. Okay, these are the factors which affect the spot speeds. First is driver, so the distance of the trip, the number of passengers, the load on the vehicle, the age of the driver, the rural or urban residence, and marital status. So these are the factors we come under the driver's characteristics which affect the spot speed. Then in vehicle, the type, age, weight, manufacturer, and horsepower. These are the characteristics of the vehicle which affect spot speed. Then under roadway, geometric location, type of roadway, curvature present or absent, grade length, and number of lanes. These are the factors which affect spot speed. Then under traffic volume, traffic density, and traffic control devices. Okay, so you already know what is traffic volume and what is traffic density. Traffic control devices are the devices which are used in order to regulate the traffic. Okay, like traffic signals, traffic markings. Okay, we'll study this in detail in my later on lectures. Okay, environment. Under environment, the time of the day, the month of the year, season, and weather conditions. Okay, these affect the spot speed. So next we have methods of measuring spot speeds. Okay, I'll start with this in my next lecture. Thank you.